Hello, welcome to 10 at 10. My name is Michael Ramage. I'm the director of the Cyber Education Research Center here at Murray State University, and welcome back to 10 at 10. 10 at 10 is brought to you through a partnership between Murray State University, Grow West, the Technology Council of West Kentucky, KY Innovations, and local partners, Sprocket Innovation in Paducah, and the Kentucky Innovation Station in Madisonville. Episode 156. And if you do that math, you realize that this wraps up our third year of doing 10 at 10. I appreciate all those that have watched, that have provided feedback, asked questions. The goal of 10 at 10 is not to get a bunch of live viewers. Typically, folks, I record this live, but typically folks watch it sometime over the next few days or even weeks. I'll get folks liking videos even, Wednesday or Thursday before I record this on a Friday. But the whole goal of this is to spur discussion, to help create thought around cybersecurity and the things that we need to do to better protect ourselves in cyberspace. And because of your feedback, because of the discussions you're having, I think that we're accomplishing that goal. And for that, I appreciate it. I appreciate the feedback and what you're doing to help make that happen. So with that, I want to jump into today's episode. We are back talking about news. And what I thought I would do today as we wrap up our third year, we spent a lot of time in December talking about the different pieces that, predictions for 2024, things that we should have done in 2023. So I wanted to take a look back at some stories from the last few days or last week. And in particular, I want to highlight a couple of different things. So first of all, this story, AI created virtual influencers are stealing business from humans. I don't care. I mean, influencers, whether it's AI created or real humans, that if you're an influencer, then obviously this upsets you. But the thing that to me that is most interesting and what I really want you to pay attention to is that we see influencers and you can say that you don't care about influencers and I don't, but there have always been people promoting products, whether it's on a team logo, on a soccer shirt, it's a NASCAR, it's your favorite singer promoting a product. We've always had those types of folks promoting things. Now with the rise of influencers, it may not be a country music singer or a football player. It may be just somebody that has gotten popular on YouTube or Instagram. Well, now what this is saying, it might not even be a real person. We are trusting these influencers in a way that maybe we shouldn't be, and that might not even be a real person. This picture that you see of this person is an AI generated influencer. It's not even a real person, but we are falling for it. And I only say that to say we've got to be careful of what we believe. We've got to be careful when we're clicking on links, when we're doing things online, when we receive an email, when we see a video. I'm not saying that you just call everything fake news. I'm not saying that at all. But when we see something online, we got to take a minute, stop, think, does this seem right? Does this seem real? And if it doesn't, then take a step back. All right, let me run through a few things that actually I find really interesting because most people wouldn't think about it. This comes from the UK. Construction firms are at a high risk of cyber attacks. What you need to know. Construction firms. We talk a lot about healthcare and we're going to talk about critical infrastructure in a second. But we talk a lot about financial services or governments that are targets of cyber attacks. But a new study in the UK says that construction companies are their terms are most likely to fall victim to cyber facilitated fraud. So what does that mean? That means probably that industry was most likely to fall victim to a phishing attack, a phishing attempt, meaning they got an email that they got tricked into clicking the link. That's probably what that means. But you wouldn't think about construction companies falling for that or being a target of that. And my point with sharing this is that we're all targets. Phishing attempts, we send it out, or not we, but attackers will send it out to 100,000 people, and whoever falls for it falls for it. So they're not saying, oh, well, construction companies don't have enough money, we're not going to target them, so let's go target somebody else. No, they're not doing that. They're attacking all of us, and whoever falls victim of that falls victim. For them, there's operational risk, there's reputational risk, there's legal risk, there's ransomware attacks, there's all those types of things that we see everywhere else. They're seeing that there as well. First American is a real estate company, a large real estate company that has been hit with a giant cyber attack. It's not just them. Fidelity National Financial, which is a title insurance for Fortune 500 title insurance company, they got hit with ransomware. My point is, I don't care what industry you're in, you have to be alert. You have to be alert. We always have to be on guard. Even with your personal stuff, we always have to be on guard. If you're getting an email, you got to look at it. This doesn't feel right. Don't do it. We have to be skeptical. When there was a time, my uncle and I would try to mess with each other on our computers, and we would do different things, and it was fun and games. And shortly after that was when Kevin Mitnick was in the height of doing his hacking, and he used to say that he felt like an explorer, that he wasn't trying to do this to make money, to steal. He was doing it to see if he could do it. And that was, frankly, a simpler time. We don't live in that time anymore. We're seeing attackers try to make money. Frankly, let's move on to the next story. Critical infrastructure remains the brass ring for cyber attacks. We are still seeing cyber attacks with targeting critical infrastructure, oil and gas, telecommunications, hospital, medical, water facilities, not to mention electrical. But the difference between way back when Kevin Mitnick was doing things and now is that if you read some of these descriptions, it's Israeli hackers, it's Russian hackers, it's Iranian hackers, it's Hezbollah, it's all of these folks that are nation states. It's not just the random hacker group, which we still have that too. It's nation states. And with critical infrastructure in particular, they want to get themselves in a position so that when it comes time to retaliate, they have a way to retaliate. Or two, if we go to war, they want to be able to take out critical infrastructure, both in the United States and other countries they may go to war against, because that's part of the battle space now. And Hezbollah doesn't care about you or me, most likely, unless you're doing something that gets up on their radar. But there is a lot of attacks that are targeting you and me. If you're an employee, if your organization is part of supporting some of this critical infrastructure, then absolutely you've got increased risk. And cybersecurity really is about risk management. But if you're just a construction company, as I just pointed out, then you're getting attacked as well. You're getting targeted as well. And we'll dig into a whole lot of that as we get into the new year. Last thing I want to point out is that Google settled a $5 billion privacy lawsuit over tracking users in incognito mode. Basically, what that means is that they were in a mode that says they weren't supposed to be tracked, and Google tracked them. They settled for $5 billion. Exactly how that's going to play out, that the terms weren't disclosed at the time. This is from the January 2nd. But the point of this is privacy, consumer privacy is increasing. The focus on that is increasing. Attackers are increasing. So we as consumers are expecting the providers that have our information to increase their protections as well. There's actually a bill pending in Kentucky that was introduced looking at consumer privacy. There's states that have passed it. There are European Union has GDPR, which is kind of the standard for data privacy, consumer privacy type protections. But we're going to see that increasing across the country in the coming year and in years to come, because we do have so much information online, and we are putting so much trust in these providers that we do expect them to protect our information. So anyway, joining today, clicked the wrong thing there. But there's a lot of stories. Take a look at these, read through them. If you have questions, let me know. Ask me. I'm always happy to answer questions, have a discussion with you offline, or bring a topic up here on 10 at 10. Thank you very much for joining in, and I'll see you next week back here on 10 at 10. Thank you. Bye.